You think just because I'm holding my kid, I won't pull the trigger, you bastard? That's what echoed in my head the night everything went sideways. I mean, the kind of night you don't just remember, you relive, whether you want to or not. 3 shots tore through the quiet on 38 Maple, so sharp you could feel them split the air. I remember Mamie Maya feeding our baby, the bottle still warm in her hands, the lullabies drowned out by sirens and shouts that didn't even sound real at first. Cops stormed in like they were kicking down the door in a war Zanino knock. No warrant, no warning, not even a hint of restraint, and within 4 damn seconds they shot my wife. They didn't know who they just made an enemy out of. I am Deadliest. I used to teach people how to kill silently, hundreds of them, but nobody ever taught me how to survive this kind of loss. I was still clutching my daughter, still wearing my wife's blood. When I realized this pain wasn't going to make me weak, it was going to turn me into something even more dangerous than I'd ever been. You ever ask yourself if you'd stand up and fight? If you'd risk everything to get justice for your family? Let me back up a sec. See, before all this, I packed my luggage like I'd been taught, everything squared away, nothing extra, every fold perfect. Discipline gets in your bones after so many years running ops that nobody ever hears about. But this time, I wasn't packing for a mission. I was just coming home. Coming home! Yeah, that's a joke now. I was supposed to see Maya and the daughter I'd barely held, supposed to figure out how to be a husband, a dad, a person again. There was no parade, no handshakes, just a nod from my CEO and the words, "Live with decency." Coming back from the shadows ain't weakness, it's just what happens when you've spent your life moving between worlds that never meet. On the flight back to Westbrook, I just stared at an old photo Maya in that white maternity dress, Nia in her arms, her eyes burning so bright it almost hurt to look. All that light, never for me. I thought I was numb after all the things I'd seen, the people I couldn't save, the times I became more machine than man. But landing in Westbrook, something in my chest trembled. Fear? No. It was that old emotion, peskery as hell for someone who's lived without it. Didn't even know if Maya would recognize me, or if Nia would cry when she saw this stranger in her doorway. But I went back anyway. No orders, no map, just a man trying to reclaim something like life. Funny, isn't it? 3 months later, on that same street, they'd shoot Maya right in front of our daughter's room. All that careful packing meant nothing. Westbrook looked like it always did, gray, windswept, stuck somewhere between yesterday and tomorrow. The taxi driver barely spoke, but he kept glancing in the mirror, sizing me up like he was waiting to see if I'd snap. When we hit Oak Ridge, my old neighborhood, everything looked exactly the same but different. People watering their lawns, houses neat, patrol cars slow rolling by, except now, their eyes didn't welcome me. They just measured me, cold, distant. Maya opened the door before I even knocked. Same eyes, same shoulders, holding our daughter like she was holding the world. She looked tired, like the world had been weighing her down for years. Nia just screamed when she saw Minute, scared, just that wild baby energy. I dropped to my knees and held them both, and for a second, the war inside me almost broke through. If I hadn't been a soldier, maybe I'd have just cried. But in Maya's eyes, I saw something else, vigilance, the kind I'd only seen in men who knew every day might be their last. Westbrook wasn't home. Not anymore. That first dinner was like eating with a ghost. 3 of us at the table, but you could feel the fourth, the weight of everything unspoken pressing down on us. Maya talked about the clinic, about gas prices, about stray cats. Her voice stayed steady, but her eyes darted like she was scanning for exits. Every word was a lifeline, a desperate hope that pretending would make it true. The police are no different from the military now, she said, slow, stirring her soup like she was mixing up the truth. Armored trucks, rifles, patrols, like we were living in Afghanistan, not the suburbs. I didn't say a word. I was afraid if I started, I wouldn't stop. She told me about a kid getting his arm broken by cops. His crime was not unlocking his phone. Said the police called it resisting. I'd seen kids shot for less overseas, but this was our block. Maya said the cops parked outside her clinic for hours after she spoke at the council. Called her the slum doctor. She said, since then, every day someone walks by our house real slow. You know what I mean? It's not what they say, it's what they want you to feel. Power. 3 days in, I go out for milk and diapers. Needed to do something normal. Got stopped by cops, two white officers, not smiling. They wanted my ID, searched my trunk, looked at my veteran card. Let me go because of that, not because I was innocent, but because my record gave them just enough doubt. Maya just said, "Those black boys out there don't get that get-out-of-jail card." I knew she was right. Then the threats started. First a message, 4 words, "Stay quiet if." No punctuation, no details. Just a warning. Next, someone smashed her clinic window and spray-painted, "Shut up if you want to live." Police shrugged it off, could be gangs, could be vandalism, but you could see in their eyes they didn't care. No photos, no questions, just get it over with. Still, Maya showed up to the city council. Bandage hand, voice clear. She called out the system, said, "If we don't have oversight, who's watching the ones with guns?" No applause, just stares. Coltomatic, son of the police chief, just sat there, smiling that smile people have when they want you to know you're marked. That night, Maya told me she was followed. Black car, lights off, gone when she turned the corner. I started watching patrols doubled up, black SUVs, leaving the station at 4:17 a.m. Every day, cameras on the east side, under maintenance whenever something bad went down. I mapped it all, old habits, you know? Maya wasn't just fighting police. She was fighting a machine. Then the call came, Ina, voice disguised man reporting a black man threatening his family at 38 Maple. No verification, no attempt to contact us, just high threat, send SWAT. They stormed in. Maya was upstairs with Nia, bottle in hand. 3 shots. No warning. She died holding her daughter. When I got there, it was already over. They said she was armed. Non compliant. But the weapon was a baby bottle. The news reported her as a suspect, no name, no mention of her being a doctor, no acknowledgement of the child. The next morning, they locked up the report, claimed the body cams failed, gave me a flyer calling me an extremist. But Maya was prepared. She'd build a case file USB drive with medical records, stats, footage of cops walking past her clinic, audio of a source warning her, "If you keep going, they'll make you quiet." I found it all after they tried to erase her. And I found her notes, injuries, police names, body cam failures. She'd built the map. I was just the one left to light it up. I called in old favors comrades who knew how to move in the shadows. We went to work, digging, cross-checking, collecting witnesses. But witnesses started dying, records got wiped, cameras went offline. A nurse who saw the real wounds turned up dead in a lake. A fire burned my house to the ground, every paper, every memory, ash. Then the system came for Nia. Labeled me unstable. Took her away under emergency order. No appeal, no hearing. Just 4 strangers and a form letter. That was it. They'd made me into the villain, erased me from the system. Frozen accounts, locked social media, no prescriptions, no driver's license gone. But the truth survived, split up, scattered, backed up in 3 places. Ghosts like us don't die easy. I leaked what I had to a journalist named Sarah. She didn't flinch, didn't pause, just published. Her headline, "The woman shot over a baby bottle," and the system scrubbing the evidence. The story went viral, hundreds of thousands read it, then millions. Suddenly, Maya wasn't just a female subject. She was a doctor, a mother, a neighbor. The town changed. People started asking questions. Why did the cameras fail? Why is the only evidence gone? The state tried to shut us down, froze Sarah's accounts, threatened her with lawsuits, called us extremists. The cops went on TV, smeared my name, ran a special operation to silence the media, drove a witness to suicide, burned more records. But the people kept talking, kept looking deeper. And then a cop who'd seen the real footage enlisted me the backup. No edits, no cuts. Maya holding Nia, pleading, "I'm holding my baby, don't shoot." 3 shots. No commands, no time to react. It was all there. Raw, brutal, inescapable. We released it. The system panicked. They offered a deal, surrender, and I'd get my daughter back. I could walk away, they said, quiet, no press, just disappear. But this story, Maya's story, it isn't just about us anymore. It's about everyone who's been told to shut up and survive. It's about justice that's not for sale and truth that won't stay buried. So what would you do? Stay quiet, let it go, pretend it never happened? Or would you risk everything for one last shot at justice? Because now, the whole world's watching, and the system's running out of shadows to hide in. You tell me when justice turns its back. Who holds the line? Yeah, that happened. Now the question is, what comes next? If you got the guts, speak up. Was I right? Was I wrong? Or is justice something none of us have ever really seen? Let's hear it.